What is going on, all you beautiful different fandoms out there? Welcome to the Fandom Effect Podcast. As always, I am your host, the Bushido Geek, aka the Shogun of Fandom, joined by Sam the Man.
Hi.
And today, we're going to be talking Star Wars games, hidden gems to holy crap, everyone knows this game is a thing range.
The widest ranges.
Right. And the reason why we're saying it like that is because in preparation for the show, we noticed that any website saying, here are hidden gem Star Wars games, like, oh, cool. And then inevitably you're like, you click, and then it's like Battlefront. You're like, how? No, that's not a hidden gem. Like
it's all the way out
that
there.
sold amazing. Like the original Battlefront, not the crappy remake.
No,
Yeah,
fuck that one.
I'm going to clarify. I want to clarify because the crappy remake ruined Battlefront.
Yes.
Like that could have been like the next like Call of Duty,
but instead
with today's graphics, and instead they ruined. They're like, let's get rid of space battles. Brr. That makes sense.
Yeah, and Star Wars.
God, because that was the most fun thing about doing the space missions was that you could just take your ship, do some cool space stuff, and then fly into the other ship and just sit in the corner of their base, just picking off the computers that are all trying to run into the ships, and you're just in the corner like doo doo doo. It was awesome. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. So hopefully you are going to enjoy it. There's the official mascot of the day.
He had to make himself known.
He had to make himself getting known there. And I'm going to let him fall to his doom. Nope, it's Indiana Jones time, man.
What is he like? What is he doing?
He's half off the couch and in like a stuck position where he can't prop himself back on the couch, and the only option is to just fall. But he was trying to avoid that for as long as possible. So he was like, right. So then I just told him, I'm not helping you. It's now he's just falling on purpose because I laughed at him. So I'll share a quick little personal story. His teacher pulled me aside when I picked him up from school today because I guess he's done it a few times, but I guess when they do like seating things, there's like set seats, and I guess some kids like either the certain color or the certain seat. Maybe it's closer to the teacher. I don't really know exactly why some seats are better, but it's kids, so they probably put it in their own heads that some of these seats are better. And I guess he gets there a lot, where he gets the seat that these other kids want. And I guess every time he gives it up, if they start fussing about it to the teacher, like if the kid starts getting upset, he just on his own will get up and move somewhere else. So the kid can have the seat. So his teacher pulled me aside and said he's being a really good friend to everybody. So I said, pick any reward you want, like whatever you want. So like it didn't matter what he picked. Out to eat, whatever he was going to pick, that's what he was going to get. And he goes, comic book. And I went, tier. So we picked up issue 1 of like the 2003 run of Invincible Iron Man. Wow. I found issue 1. So there's a little personal story for you guys. So
Will Cameron's my hero.
Yeah, he's a good kid. So I like Star Wars games, as evidenced by the fact that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them.
Wow.
On my Steam. And I mean, I think I said this. I think one of my favorites probably ever is the pod racing on the N64.
Well, of course, who doesn't want to pod race?
It's amazing.
Right.
One of the only disappointments that Knights of the Old Republic had, because that game's an S tier video game,
right?
Was that the pod racing was only one little instance, and then you never got to
pod racing.
I wanted more pod racing. I wanted the game of Knights of the Old Republic, but with like
everything.
But with like a pod. Well, I mean they're remaking it,
so maybe we can have everything.
So maybe we can get like a pod racing circuit. Like how awesome would that be? You get to like run around as a Sith and killing people, because that's the only fun way to play. And then you hop into pod racing and you get up to number 1 in the circuit, and then you go back to killing people. It's
a fun little break.
It's a win-win.
From Dark Side.
Yeah. So what's the first Star Wars game you can remember playing? Because for me, it was the pod racing for the N64.
Lego Star Wars.
Don't
ask me which one specifically. I had a friend that lived a couple houses away.
Which one specifically?
Shut up. I had a friend that lived a couple houses away, and the only thing me and her would do together for a lot of the time was just play Lego games. So we played like Lego Star
Nice.
Wars, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego like Harry Potter, all of the Lego games.
Nice. I approve.
hmm
I
So
approve.
the Lego Star Wars games were probably the
So
first Star Wars games I played.
we said earlier that most people don't understand that like are writing these articles don't understand hidden gem. What do
What
you
the
what do
term
you when you
hidden gem
right?
means.
So when you think of hidden gem, what does a hidden gem video game mean to you?
A game that is really fun to play. You enjoy playing it, but it didn't get the hype it deserved.
Yeah.
And now it's been 20 years and it still hasn't gotten the hype it deserves. But you're
Yeah.
playing and you're like, how did this go like
Right.
unnoticed?
Yeah. And there are a lot of games like that. Um so Knights of the Old Republic is not a hidden gem. It's a
Absolutely not.
phenomenal game, top tier. But what I would consider a slightly hidden gem is the second game.
Oh,
Because there is a massive drop off between people that have played the first game and the second game.
no, I believe that people are less likely to play sequels.
Yeah. And now it is not as good. There are definite things that they changed that they should not have,
Uh huh.
but it is still a great game.
Yeah, it's like first KOTOR set the bar so high that
There
they
was
couldn't do it
literally nowhere to
again.
go but down. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
doesn't mean
was
it
like
was a bad game.
yeah, they tried changing things to make it better, but it was like, guys, I'm sorry, but you hit the ball so out of the park. There is no up.
Right.
Like with the graphics that you can do these days, I don't like other than making some other aspects of the game longer or maybe making it more open world, but games back then were not open world.
Not
that
at
really
all.
that really wasn't a trend back then of make it was games were very linear. Even a game like Knights of the Old Republic, which is like it's like 95% linear where there is a very set path you have to follow. You just have a lot of other side missions that you can do in the meantime. But for the
Correct.
most part, it's a linear path. Like you can't, you can go back to certain planets, but at the end of the day, there's nothing left to do there after like one or two missions. You have to continue the game.
Yeah, no, the feel of that game compared to like their newest game, like Jedi Fallen Order, where that whole thing is just
Right.
open world running around,
Yeah.
it's very different.
Which I still need to play more Fallen Order, but it's a phenomenal game. And
Oh, best game out there.
like even their multiplayer, I don't think gets enough love. Their MMO.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it came out at the time where there was a lot of hype, but that was also I think when WoW was doing like a bunch of expansions and like FF14 had like just launched not too long ago, so it had a ton of competition where it fell off. It's still a great game. Like I played it a little bit. It's a really good game. I don't want to say it's a hidden gem, but the Force Unleashed series,
Okay.
there's only two of them. Way back in the 360 era. The first one's pretty well known, but there is a second one. Those are the games where you could literally just pluck TIE fighters out of the air and chuck them at Darth Vader.
Yep. And who wouldn't want to do that?
Right? I mean, it's classic, right? I mean,
Right.
so we mentioned not the crappy new Battlefront, but here's how much I love the old Battlefront. So you can buy Star Wars Battlefront 2, only the multiplayer on Steam. And as soon as I saw that, I literally didn't even look at how much it was. I just clicked purchase, and then saw later it was like $8 or something like that. And I was like, I don't care. It's Battlefront 2, and I played it, and it's awesome because it's just people playing that are obsessed with Battlefront.
I love that for you.
It's awesome. It's not a hidden gem. I just wanted to mention how much I love Battlefront.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over my first hidden gem.
Okay.
So it's a game that I've had played briefly back when it first came out, and got it on like Steam Summer Sale, like a long time ago. So it's Star Wars Empire.
Wires.
Yeah. Empire at
Sorry.
War, which is their RTS game. And if you don't know what RTS is, it means real time strategy. Kind of like not so much turn based, but like trying to think of something not like Civilization,
Okay.
or Age of Empires, where it's like it's advanced turn-based where it's like kind of you're doing your own thing, but there's somebody else like interacting at the same time. This was Star Wars' version of that. Came out in 2006, so it's getting close to being 20 years old at this point. And I picked up the gold pack, so it's like it includes like every expansion and all that stuff. It's like even on Steam Summer Sale, that game's only like $7.
Oh,
But
we're big spenders.
yeah, I've talked to a few friends about that game. Most have heard that Star Wars did an RTS way back in the day, but most have never played it. Whether it was because they just assumed it was going to be bad, or because they're like, Star Wars RTS. It's Star Wars wasn't known for making an RTS game. You're generally going to go with the games that are, Age of Empires, Civ. You're going to go with the franchises that are known for making great games. So I feel like this is one of those games where a lot of people didn't give it a try because of these things of like, it's Star Wars. How are they going to make a good RTS game? Or they got it and was like, this isn't what I thought it would be, and blah, blah, blah. I will say it's one of the hardest RTSs I've ever played.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Like, even just like normal campaign missions, it'll be like, destroy this pirate base. And you're like, yeah, okay. And you make some troops, like 6 or 7, you start going over and you're like, I'm out of resources. And the computer's like, I'm not, here's 50.
Oh my God.
And you're like, oh. Like in most RTS, like Age of Empires is pretty notorious for having like easy is like all you have to do is survive one wave by the computer like 10 minutes into the game. And after that, the computer is a joke. It's really weird. It's like they blow their load 10 minutes in on one wave. You kill them all, and then there's like nothing left. And then you ramp it up to medium, and it's like a wave every 5 minutes. So even if you beat another one, 5 minutes later, a wave of the exact same size is coming at you again. So like the difficulty control is like way off the board.
There is no happy medium.
Right. And this game is almost like that, except that instead of there being like one wave and then it dies out, it's constant. Like they're constantly like, there is no like, so it's like they just get more resources than you and they just start throwing everything at you that they can. And it's like with most RTS campaigns where if your main hero dies, you're done.
Screwed.
Yeah. So again, it's a great game. That's my first hidden gem. I don't know what you have for your hidden gems because we didn't tell each other, but that's my first one.
Okay. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. In the funny little names they made for that whole like section of games, because that like group of games were like the first time you play as like a Jedi. And I think this game is also really funny too because it starts out as a first-person shooter game. And then after certain events in the game, you switch over to third-person, like Jedi.
Yeah.
Which is just like a really weird thing to do for a game, is to switch the POVs partway through.
Yeah. Star Wars is one of those franchises that took a lot of chances with like PS1, Xbox, N64, like because that was when the movies were like at their heyday and they were just pumping out whatever they could.
Oh, from 1982, I believe. Let me fact check that. My fact check's somewhere. But it's crazy. Like there's just I don't know how many games there are even to this day. Oh, no, I have the answer to that. 1982, when the original is the first Star Wars game from The Empire Strikes Back. That's the first Star Wars game that came out in 1982. Yeah. To right now, to before the 3 games I want to talk about come out, over 100.
Yeah.
In that short amount of time.
Yeah.
That's a lifetime.
And it's a great time for Star Wars games now because EA lost their exclusivity. So it was since 2013, EA had signed a 10-year deal, but they were doing so bad that Disney just took it back.
They're like, you're not treating this right.
So now it's like anyone can really make a Star Wars game, which is awesome. I mean, EA did pull it back together with Fallen Order.
Oh yeah.
They were on like the downtrend of like dear Lord, if I know when Fallen Order came out, there was this huge backlash of people that were like not even going to pre-order because they were like, until I get confirmation that you're not going to throw,
Microtransactions.
Microtransactions at us, I'm not getting this game.
Oh,
And so Fallen Order, when it first came out, there was like nothing on it. I mean, like obviously people were doing reviews and saying how good it was, but you weren't hearing like a lot of buzz. Like it was probably like 3-4 months after the game came out where I started hearing how good the game was from a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. So many people were shocked at how well the game EA like made for this.
Yeah, because they just assumed it's going to be like the new Battlefront, or it's going to be like this, and it's going to be bad, and like it was just like one thing after another where people didn't realize how good the game was going to be. And so I was curious. I was like, I found a good website, and I was like, I'm curious to what they're going to say are hidden gems, and we're going to see how many of these we've played or would rebuy. So I barely remember this one. Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire.
I got nothing.
It was PlayStation, like, like duck behind stuff, pop up and shoot kind of thing.
Got it.
This one I know for a fact I've played. It's amazing. Episode 1, Battle for Naboo. It's a great game.
No, absolutely.
It's awesome.
Episode 1.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a fun game. It's great. That one I would agree is a hidden gem because just of how old it is. Very, very similar to Rogue Squadron, for those of you that are listening who know what Rogue Squadron is. I don't know if this is a hidden gem because I've heard a lot about it, but Obi-Wan. I don't know if it was a hidden gem, but
I think I'd call it a hidden gem.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a good game, and it's centered around
absolutely.
Obi-Wan. Like, it's a solid game, graphics for what they are. I feel like that's a lot of it, too, is, like, I can go back and play an old game and enjoy it for what it is. Like, bad graphics and all. I feel like some people don't know it as well. Oh, so a quick side tidbit. Cameron has now learned how to use like the camera on his iPad and stuff, and I'm
so proud of him.
And is now making his own videos and artistic pictures, where he sets up toys and then pulls out the camera on his iPad and goes. Ch-ch.
I love that kid so much.
That's what he's currently doing, is running around taking videos and pictures.
He's gonna be a YouTuber in no time.
That's what he said that to me multiple times. Cheese.
Sorry, this is not just Cameron the episode.
This is now just Cameron hour.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Now this one I've never played, and I'm like, it's got to be insanely old.
Take a picture of Sam.
The new Droid Army.
No.
Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So
I had a lot of Game Boy games.
Right. Anything for the Game Boy Advance, I'm calling it hidden gem because they turned out like a game a week of
That's
just
true.
anything they could get their hands on. So if there's anything on the Game Boy Advance that's a decent game, it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
I don't remember the new Droid Army, but
No, I had a lot of games for the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, and so this one I disagree with. We talked about it. The Clone Wars is not a hidden gem.
They
The
put
first
the
one,
Clone Wars on there?
they did, because of the age. Because a lot of people now just think that the new Battlefront is Battlefront. So there are a lot of people that don't know that there's an original Battlefront.
And they're stinky. I didn't want to insult anybody. What's the next one?
Let's see here if it can load. Bounty Hunter.
No.
That one was like it was like the first game where you're playing as Jango Fett, which was pretty freaking sweet. Like to be able to play as Jango Fett.
Can I tell you before we proceed?
Yeah.
One of the 3 games, Star Wars has announced that they're doing 3 new games.
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order 2. They're doing a first-person shooter and a strategy game. I'm almost hoping the first-person shooter is more of like a bounty hunter with all of the like hype that the Mandalorian and now the Book of Boba Fett is getting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you're going to take a first-person shooter game and make it into a Jedi. Besides from Jedi Outcast that did that, I don't see them doing that again, though. So that's what I'm like hoping for that game.
They're probably just trying to make things different, yeah.
It was Jedi Fallen Order 2, first-person shooter, and strategy. That's all they said.
Okay. Interesting enough, if you are a fan of Star Wars games, always check out the Steam Summer Sale, because usually, or any of the sales, because they bundle every Star Wars game they have, which is like 14 or 15 of them, and you can get them all for like $60.
No, that's like one game of a new game.
Yeah, in this sense, you get like 16 Star Wars games.
You know what? We love a deal.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it's a good deal.
Like I said that earlier today or something.
Yeah, right? So Bounty Hunter was great. I wish it was on Steam, otherwise I would already bought it, because I just love it.
I'm sure there's an emulator out there.
Well, yeah. Revenge of the Sith, because it was like playing Golden Axe back in the day for the Sega Genesis, and I'm a sucker for Golden Axe. I'll still play it today. I think it holds up. I think it holds up.
Okay.
It's a great game. Well, yeah. Force Unleashed, which I mentioned earlier. The Clone Wars lightsaber duels, which I will agree with, because I won't buy a game made by, like purely made by like Disney based off of like a show, because they're almost never good. But this one's nice because it actually put in all the show's like voice actors, and like actual stuff from Clone Wars. So like that's a nice place.
When did that come out? The game?
Back when Clone Wars at its height, I think like 2009.
Really?
I think somewhere around there.
Look, I just took off my shirt.
And then this one I definitely hinge on. Masters of Terras Kasi. Yeah. Okay. It like the hidden gem of just, dear Lord, why did you make this game? And I do briefly remember that one when it came out, and hearing I never played it. I just heard how bad of a game it was. But I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you could probably spend like an hour talking about like the different things that people have in Star Wars games and hidden gem, and I played it for this system or that system, or I mean, like I think the first game came out for probably the Atari. I'd have to look up when the first ever Star Wars game was that came out.
You know, I read it earlier. Guess what? Don't remember. Oh, I still got it up.
I'm like, what the first game ever though that came out was?
I'm looking. I still have the Wikipedia page up.
Nice.
The Empire Strikes Back. It was Atari.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I remember briefly. So I think just the reason we wanted to dive into this fandom is because Star Wars is huge, but Star Wars games in themselves are
a whole nother thing.
Yeah, like an entire just, dear Lord, there is so much here. Again,
over 100 games just for Star Wars.
You know what's a really good one that it's not on Steam or anything, but it's a great game for the Xbox? Republic Commando. It was like the first game that came out where you were playing as like actual clone troopers.
Yeah, and fun fact, the original Boba Fett, Jango Fett, the same dude, the clones.
Yeah.
He voiced in that.
Yeah.
He was the clone. He was the voice, which is great because I love when shit like that happens.
Oh, it's great. It's awesome.
I read that earlier.
Yeah. So I think the lesson to kind of take away is there's a lot of Star Wars games out there. So the best way to start is to go with what genre of games you like, because they kind of have everything.
Yeah.
Like if you want something just more cut and dry, very short A to B, the first Force Unleashed is a good one, is a good game because you can beat it in like 6 hours. But there's tons of action. You can literally, like I said, pull TIE fighters out from the air as they're flying by and throw them at people. It's a very like platformer kind of game, but it's very fast paced in what it's offering. Or you go more modern and you go Fallen Order. You know, like, I don't know. What do you think? What would be a good way to start?
Well, you said like pick a genre. Like there's like flight simulators kind of games. So if you want something that's like not plot based and you just want to like dick around for a few hours, you can play some of those games. Because there's like the original one. It's not the original one, it's a sequel. That you can be a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
And you can just go around and shoot the rebellion
which is pretty awesome.
Your own fun, yeah. Or there's like first person shooter like Republic Commandos.
Yeah.
You could be a Jedi in either Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, or like Jedi Fallen Order. So like I would say pick whatever like style of game you like and start there. See which one interests you the most.
Yeah.
And then pop off.
Yeah. Oh my god. Or you can just go back and replay the original Battlefront.
You can just play every single Star Wars game.
Or you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balls to the walls. We're crazy here.
Yeah.
Or you can only play the Lego Star Wars games.
Or you can only play Lego Star Wars.
There's 6, like, how many are there? 9?
There you go.
9, I think there's 9 of them. 6 or
yeah, there's like a lot. So it's hard to like give a fandom experience or like a direct, do this or do that, because there's so many great games and there are so many hidden gems that it's like you really got to go with what you think is just a good game. Just like, so for example, like just like on Steam alone, there's, like I said, 16, 17 Star Wars games, and most of them you've probably never heard of. And even, yes, the graphics are going to be bad and clunky and all that stuff, but
what do you expect?
Right. If you're only going to play something that's modern, then Fallen Order or Rogue Squadron are really your only choices. So those are those are the last 2 big ones that came out. That
there was a Darth Vader game for the VR. Yeah,
it's fun.
Buy episodes.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, a buddy of mine is playing it and been doing that, where he's buying.
My friend Sammy's been doing that, and she just every payday just buys a new episode.
Yeah, and
I think that's only like a little stinky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
if you're a baller, you can play that game.
Yeah. If you want to be just a true baller, you can go back and play those days.
And then email us at thefandomeffectpodcast.com.
And let us know your thoughts. Yeah. And let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, how it is. And how much you make a year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you have any final thoughts you'd want to share with people on Star Wars games, or
just give it a try? Like I said off screen earlier, I don't have the attention span to play video games, but I will sit and whatever I'm working on and listen for hours to other people play it. It took me like 3 days to get through all of Fallen Order, just listening to, I think, the Rad Brad play it. So even if like video games aren't something you enjoy doing, there's no reason why you can't enjoy the product.
Yeah, there's enough out there to keep you more
entertained.
There's just so much. So I think that'd be like my role. My main recommendation, kind of the same thing, is just kind of go with what you think you like to play. If you like to play RPGs, play Knights of the Old Republic. If you like to play RTS, go grab the RTS one. It's amazing. If you like platformers, go Force Unleashed. If you want open world, go Fallen Order. If you like MMOs, play the MMO. I mean, there's really no wrong way to go.
Or you can ask us and we'll just like pick out of a hat and go, here, play this one.
Yeah. And then it might be really bad because it'll be like, here, play, pod racing and
You said
Hoth.
you like pod racing.
Yeah, but no one's played pod racing on Hoth.
Not Hoth.
Not Hoth. I don't know. There's so much good stuff.
That's true.
There really is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say go crazy with stuff. Just
Pop off.
Just pop off. Yeah, pop off with Star Wars games. Just go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Go nuts. Do things.
Just go stupid crazy.
Yeah, and I think with that, we'll just go play Star Wars games.
We'll just fade out of existence.
It'll fade out of existence. Yeah. So make sure you stay tuned. New episodes every Wednesday, bright and early. Maybe we'll go back to Fridays. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I don't know. Go to our Facebook page. Let us know on whether you like Wednesdays or Fridays.
Yes, facebook.com/Phantom Effect. That's the same anywhere. So pick any social service. We are there. Every major podcasting platform. Just make sure to like and subscribe and check out our merch. And stay tuned for no exciting episodes and crazy changes. And we'll see you guys on the next edition of the Phantom Effect podcast.
Bye.